And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delay. We've been getting everything situated, but it looks like we will be starting our next match for the group stage, which will be Crit's Crew versus Pog. You know, Crit's Crew has been around, good old veterans of Fortress Faceoffs events. Definitely don't do like anything else that you guys should check out. You know, they definitely aren't like they're only known. Wow. Okay, let's get to the game.
Okay, that was a very even mid there. Yeah, I wasn't able to really comment on that one. I didn't want to intrude on the Crits Crew shout out, but that was a very even fight right there. We watched. I think that's probably going to be the most even fight we watched this entire game here. A nice little 5v5 with one man standing, one man living to tell the tale for the rest of the team. But looks like blue team here are going to be dropping 2 players down 2 on this flank here, but they're going to be even for this actual fight for the point. Red team now on 2 players here. They're just going to have to back up, lick their wounds, and maybe try and
kill. Ooh.
Oh, man melter, let's go!
That was across the mid fight or shot.
Oh, Duncan, you got to get out of here. Get out of there, Duncan! He's playing around that pack. This one pyro over here, Goblin, the Goblin! He's going Goblin mode right now on the point. I don't know if it's really going to help him out here, though. He might be getting taken out. Gas is now thrown. All the players on the point are covered. Again, they are covered a second time, rather. All 4 of them are covered, and this pyro is going in through the house, getting some nice hits onto these players. Oh, my goodness. Pog just wipes out Crit's Crew there.
Great play by Pog.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was an excellent little flank play that their player did right there. And
Pog appears to be very aggressive, pushing up on Crit's Crew spawn.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to get a little bit of a forward hold going on there, but they didn't really have anybody on the flank. And granted, Crit's Crew kind of just sent that guy in, you know, a little bit of a feed, and now they've lost 2 players. They're on different spawn waves now, so at this point, you kind of just have to say, are we committing for the point, or are we leaving and trying to live? And it does look like they're committing, and they all end up dying for it. This is now a minute and 40 seconds off of the total timer, a minute 20 left for blue, for Pog to hold this point, and that will secure them the dub for this round. I'm hoping to see Crit's Crew maybe pull something out, you know, maybe a nice cheeky flank play, which it looks like they might be able to do here. They're just on the point for free.
Completely getting the jump on Crit's Crew, not even expecting them to be in this corner.
But unfortunately, yeah, like you said, I mean, they got the jump on them. They just weren't expecting it. They sent everybody out through that flank there, and they all ended up dying for just a little bit of cap time. No actual cap gained. So, you know, 3 minutes still for Crit's Crew, and they're just getting forward held.
Very forward. Will it pay out for Pog being this aggressive? I'm not sure. It's not looking very well for Pog.
Yeah, they do end up dropping a player here for this forward hold, but as we've seen from Crit's Crew, their you know, point fights aren't the strongest, but it does look like they have a player going behind. Actually, takes that pack twos with these 2 players, especially this one on the point right now is going to go down, and that might be the change of pace that Crit's Crew needs. Maybe they just needed to get a leg up on mid here, and they might be able to hold this. We'll see. We'll find out. Let's see what their strategy is here. We do have a pyro.
Pog getting that timer down to 6 seconds. Will Crit's Crew be able to hold for 3 whole minutes? Find out.
It does look like they're getting flanked from the side here. They don't even know this pyro's in for free. He hasn't been spotted yet. Now he's getting spotted. He's being looked at. Big Ivan is getting looked at by all 4 pyros on the point right now. And he doesn't go down. He actually gets a kill. Veg and Empty going in as long as, oh my lord, have mercy. Oh my god. I can't even.
Slaughter. We couldn't even catch up or keep up with them.
I mean, wow.
It looks like this first round will be going to Pog.
Yeah, this is definitely a Pog round. I mean, there was a lot of stuff happening right there. There was like way too much going on for me to like catch up with. Holy!
I think if Crit's Crew really wants to come back from this, what I would do is just, I think they need to get on the same page. There's too many of them doing way too many different things, and they're spreading themselves way too thin.
Yeah, it does look like they are picking a lot of, you know, like 1v1 fights when they could be taking 2v1s or, you know, 2v2s or something like that. Like we see over here on this flank here.
2v1.
yeah, this is 2v1 on the flank. It does actually end up working for them. Bumble getting that nice kill. A nice little man melter hit onto this guy on the flank here. Veg going down, but there is a Pyro behind them coming through the house. He might get a free kill here. Almost very close. And he's actually going to end up getting killed himself, I think. No, never mind. His teammate comes in and saves him. It's now a 2v3 in favor of Pog. Now a 4v2, actually. And they're just going to be duking it out on the point here. Both Pyros on the side of Crit's crew, very, very weak. One of them goes down, and so does the other. And now Bumble, the only spawner really in position. And he's going forward, actually. Trying to fight the 1v5, getting some gas out, kind of feeding right here. Forcing the rest of his team to fight this guy over here. Also, who is this? I believe it's Duncan is fighting a 1v4 now. Somehow living, actually. I don't even know how he gets out of that.
We're going to see if that sack for the gas play will pay off in Crit's crew's favor. And
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it looks like it does, and Empty's trying to go for the same play. It doesn't look like it works out for him here. I would like to point out, by the way, that not a single bit of time has been taken off the global round timer until right now. Crit's crew getting the first cap for this round. So, very interesting set of mid-fights here. They didn't really have anybody on the cap. They're ticking down time, which makes this probably one of the longest mid-fights we'll see today. But Crit's crew is now down 3 players. They're going to have to leave here. They can't really defend this unless Big Ivan's getting in behind, doing some big damage. But Big Ivan, not big enough, is going to get taken down. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Fortunately, all that damage and no kills to really show for it. Fortunate.
Yeah. That's a thing I'm noticing with Crit's crew here already, is that they're getting so much damage, but they never convert it into kills, which is super unfortunate. But it does look like they're going to be sending 3 out through the flank here as well.
Empty trying to jump up on the rock to try and get a play on them.
Yeah, but now I don't think it's working out too well for him. I mean, Pog here is going to have to back up here. I mean, it's 3v4 with no HP. I mean, if you're Pog in this situation, you either have to send that 3-man over for the point.
Duncan coming up from behind trying to extinguish his teammate.
Oh no, Duncan.
Man melter crit. Oh, unfortunate. Misses the shot.
Oh, Goblin goes down and so does Red. This is very scrappy for Crit's crew here, but I think they're making it work. This Pyro over here on the point gets up, getting taken down. Big Ivan, big play. Takes down that Pyro 1v1, and I think Empty's about to go down as well. 16 HP on the point, he goes down. This is a big fight happening right now. We got Veg over here, 89 HP, getting focused down by Big Ivan, but it's a 1v4 almost. Now it's a 2v2. Those other 2 players from behind did not show up. Red goes down as well. Oh my god. There's so much happening right now. Crit's crew ends up wiping here. A lot of Dragon's Fury projectiles getting thrown
Bumble
across
going
the
in
point.
for the sack. Maybe
Bumble.
Sack. Yep.
He denies the cap for a little bit, but it's not quite enough to be all that useful for his team. And now he's going to have to be a little bit further behind everybody when he rolls out, which is a little bit inconvenient for the rest of his team. But I think Crit's crew, they've shown that they can make these fights when they're down a player work, so I'm hoping to see something come out of this. Big Ivan got sent into the space. I mean, he got sent into the stratosphere, I guess. I don't know if he got space for
down 1 player. That might be in Crit's crew's favor to help.
Yeah, with Holy Onyx being out of the picture here and a Pyro getting isolated on the flank, it could be a 4v3 for the point here, and that's exactly what they do. They isolate that guy on the flank and they just kill everybody on the point. They do have this Pyro up above the point here, though. Kind of just raining down pain from above, but it's not getting all that much damage out. But on Crit's crew's side of mid here, they actually send a Pyro out. He doesn't get that much damage out. It does look like the Goblin is going to go down, trying to fight that point all on his own, all by his lonesome, if you will. This Pyro living behind Empty and Empty now going down. It's just Empty and Veg behind, and Veg actually ends up cleaning up one of the Crit's crew members. Red is going down now. But I don't think it's going to be much for him. Holy Onyx now goes down, and it's even players on this mid-fight. And I say that, Curse of the Caster, one goes down. And I think they just don't know that there's a person behind it. I mean, Duncan is just going to have to back out there, and so is the Goblin. Ideally, they're going to be playing back. Duncan goes in on his own, again, picking a 1v2. Not the best decision here. Veg on 30 HP is going to somehow barely manage to scrape away and get some last-minute damage out. And Crit's crew is going to wipe right there. This is 50 seconds on the clock for Pog here, Big Ivan going in, getting a nice pick, but ending up going down for it. Not very worthwhile. Now 40 seconds on the global timer for Pog. All they have to do is hold this point for a little bit longer, and they will win this match.
Shoal trying to go in for a little cheeky extinguisher hit on people who aren't even on fire.
Yeah, that's
indeed.
It's one of the plays that we've seen. We do have a little bit of gas thrown onto the point from Holy Onyx, but he ends up going down. Not much value gained from this play here. Not much value gained from that sack at all. We do have Big Ivan taking this 1v1 on the point. Both Pyros beefing the Dragon's Fury shots, and both Pyros on the point now very weak. They're going to have to back up and get some healing, maybe rotate out, get some help. It does look like Duncan is... understanding that he's got to get out of there. He's got to go get some packs. He's got to go get healed. And this is now a point in favor of Crit's crew. They have 1 minute and 13 seconds to hold. Will they be able to keep this point held for a minute continuously? We will find out. It doesn't look like so, because they are wiping right now, and they've got players all over the point from Pog.
Duncan trying to fight 3v1, but it just doesn't work in his favor. Shoal coming out with a little disrespect on the point. Ooh.
Yeah, and I mean, if you are Shoal right there, I mean, you can taunt. I mean, there's nothing stopping you. All their players respawn in 4 seconds, and the timer's at 5.
And it's unfortunate. We have, it appears, Pog winning the second round, and that wins them the match against Crit's crew.
Yeah, it does. That was a very decisive battle between Pog and Crit's crew. I thought for a little bit we were going to see a bit of a comeback from Crit's crew. But I guess they weren't able to really collect themselves or figure out a strategy that worked best for them in such a short amount of time, which, you know what, it happens, and you can't win them all. So hopefully they walk out of that, at least having a little bit of fun. Of course, that's what this event's about.
It's not about the winning of the matches, it's about the Pyros you kill along the way.
Exactly.
But
as
we could see, I think a good play would be to just understand that I think the players should be able to focus more on the Dragon's Fury ability to just do very good continuous single target damage. It treats differently, of course, than a standard flamethrower, where you just hold M1 and a bunch of particles come out. But we will be checking out the logs to see how our wonderful contenders did stat-wise.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm taking a little gander at these here logs. I'm already seeing, unfortunately for Crit's crew, Duncan was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, 17, 6, and 11, and he's the only one on Crit's crew with the double-digit kill count, whereas in comparison to Pog, you've got so many kills for so many people. Empty barely managing to miss the double kill count by 1. Same thing for Big Ivan, though, so I guess... I mean, I think Pog was just very, very dominant. There's not a whole lot you can really do about that one. They were very powerful. They came out, they knew they had a strategy in mind, and they executed that strategy. And I think having the ability to go in there with something in mind beforehand, instead of trying to play all reactionary, as is with any game mode, Highlander or Sixes or 5v5 Pyros only. Having that plan in there and being able to have something, coordinated beforehand instead of reacting to everything and trying to play based off of that is a lot more powerful and a lot stronger than anything else. So,
of course. It's just, that's the main gimmick of the Dragon's Fury. It's just, it changes your play style so much than a standard flamethrower, backburner, pyro, anything like that.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with how the Dragon's Fury is technically treated as a projectile, I feel like it might be better off for you to be playing up on that height up there above the point. I mean, they have to look up at you. It's going to be harder for them to hit you because they have to look up. I mean, that's basic, geometry right there. It's harder to hit somebody above you. It's something about triangles or whatever, hypotenuses and something like that. But, I mean, it's a lot harder for someone to shoot up at you than it is for you to shoot down at them. So,
of course. And it does appear that our first banned map will be Canopy, so no more doubles on Canopy. Our second ban map
Unfortunate.
will be on Relic. You know, God bless, my favorite map. You know, can't win them all. You know. Our third
Yeah,
ban map will be
sometimes.
Hangar, which we have not seen yet. I am excited to see when some team members will, or some teams will pick Hangar. It's a very good map. I can't wait to show it off. Valor has been banned, and it appears that our next map will be on Sandstone.
Ooh.
Very, very Egypt style, Egypt inspired map. You know, with the lovely architecture. You know, really taking inspiration from just Egyptian. You know, I'm losing like my train of thought on Egypt. If want to help me out here.
Yeah, it's a very Egyptian architecture inspired. I mean, I can't really load up the map on my own because I got to stay connected to this STV so when it switches over. But from what I'm seeing in
Yeah.
these little previews in our reference here, looks very, very interesting. I want to see if we're gonna have anybody abuse these little spires on the point and play around them. Just bully the way that the Dragon's Fury actually functions. So,
Of course, of course, of course. And our lovely voices in our heads have informed us that the next teams will be that we are competing will be the Fire Nation versus the Kitchen Staff. And as you can see here, we now have some footage playing. You know, not to toot my own horn, but footage provided by yours truly. But this is Sandstone. You know, as we were saying, very Egyptian architecturally inspired. And I'm not sure if I remember getting footage of it, but there is a giant pyramid. You know, it's pretty cool. Pyramids are pretty cool. You know, triangles, big triangles.
gigantic triangle. I love triangles. They're my favorite shape ever. That said, I want to know what I want to know what the strat for people on this map is, because from what I'm seeing in our reference here, there's not a whole lot of height to be played around. I mean,
I think
it seems.
I think what teams will have to play off of is that pack, that medium health pack on the cliff up there on that little hill next to the point. I think that's going to be a very good place to hold your ground, get that high ground, just a small amount, just that tiny amount of high ground over the point. It'll just benefit them very much.
Yeah, true, and I'm also thinking that, as I said earlier, those little spires on the point will also probably come into play there. I'm thinking we might see a lot of ankles get broken on this map just using those little obelisks on the point and seeing how people abuse, the Dragon's Fury only being able to shoot in one direction. It's not like, your average projectile where you get that splash, or like regular flames where it'll linger, where it sits for, a second longer than it actually looks like it is. It's gonna disappear almost instantly when it hits that thing. So I'm thinking that those pillars there are going to be very influential on who takes the least amount of damage from these mids.
Of course, of course. And the cave and I'm not sure, I'm blanking on the other side of the map, but we'll just say pillars. The cave and the pillars provide those flank routes that you would need to reach the middle point. So I wonder if some teams will be able to send, say, 2 pyros down main and 3 pyros down or up the cave to take over that high ground, just to block out the other team from taking the control of that.
I'd hope so, but we haven't really seen any teams try and take advantage of high ground or, try and move around and use geometry to their advantage. So hopefully we'll be able to see some nice flank plays come out and, bully people from the hilltops. But I wouldn't bet on it.
Of course, of course. It just all comes down to what the teams have planned, what kind of strats they're forming in their head, and how they're going to approach this battle.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said earlier, we got Flame and the Kitchen Staff coming in again. The Kitchen Staff going to be making their second appearance already on stream. I mean, hey man, you get 2 appearances on one Fortress Face-Off stream. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good. But what are your thoughts? What are your predictions for what some KDs are going to be looking like by the end of this?
Well, I think we're going to see at least one guy with a KD similar to what we witnessed with Medi or Meppy, sorry, Meppy on what was the map? What was Relic, I think was the map.
Yeah, it
Where
was
they
Relic.
ended up going, I think, what, 24-3 or something
I
like that?
believe so. I believe their KD I think was 11. We have been redeemed, or we have been informed that someone has redeemed posture check and hydration. So make sure. Cheers, everybody.
Oh,
Take a
let me
swig
get a
of your
little
water.
stretch real quick. Let me get that posture check. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Make sure to always take care of yourselves. Always have a good thing of water. You always want to, get as much water in your system. You know, body can't function
Remember.
without it.
Hey, and another thing, if you're worried about your eyesight, if you really want to pay attention to your eyesight, you've been looking at your monitor for a little bit too long, just look at something that's like across your room for like 30 seconds. Give yourself a little bit to readjust. But it does look like we are going live for this match of Flame, the Fire Nation versus the Kitchen Staff. I'm going to be looking at, let's see what cam, I'm going to be looking at the Bum Fuzzler. That's a good name. I think Bum Fuzzler is a good name. And I think your prediction was right. They actually do send up 2 people through this cave here onto the cliff to bully people off of the height, but the Bum Fuzzler is kind of going in, taking a 1v1 here on his own, and he's getting punished for it a little bit. The pack ends up getting stolen from him, and now he ends up behind the rest of the red team, but he ends up going down. Lulu ends up taking him out, which is very beneficial if you're on the side of Flame here. And I think Flame might actually be able to get a somewhat decent forward hold set up on these doorways here.
It does appear so. They appear to be going through house to hold the spawn. Because if you can notice, the spawn for this map appears.
I don't think they noticed the big flank rush, and I think that pays off massively if you are the Kitchen Staff here. They get in and they get so much damage, but actually it looks like it comes back to bite them because Meppy and Meppy, Young Freaks of the Body Snatcher. Oh my God, they're all weak. Duds, Meppy, and oh my, Sorted Caper are all weak, so weak, all weak on the point, getting taken down. I mean, that flank almost was big, but not quite big enough. I mean, they all just ended up taking 1 million damage from probably like the same guy, and just ended up dying for it.
Sorted going in here, trying to fight this point all by himself.
Yeah, this is not a situation you want to find yourself in, especially,
He does appear to be playing around the pillar, which is very good.
Yeah, but I don't think he's playing around it enough.
He is retreating. It does appear. We got more people more of his team members coming in to back him up.
Yeah, definitely. And I think right here, looking at the clocks here, we've got a minute 40 a minute 20 off of the clock for Flame here. Kitchen Staff, we're gonna have to make something happen here sometime very soon if they want anything to happen.
Flame here taking the high ground. Oh, never mind. He wanted to get into the action, get as much damage as he could.
Yeah, Spawn going down for preventing anybody from really getting any cap time, but the cap is right there. Meppy's solo capping almost, air blasting people away, but I think the Obelisk kind of saved them. Blue team ends up wiping here, and this is a perfect opportunity for Flame to start setting up a forward hold, which it does look like. What is this guy's name? Hold on. Brabdo does end up deciding he wants to do. He's now on 30 HP, and so is Lulu, and Brabdo goes down. Lulu on 30 HP still. Spawn now on 80 HP, and so is Set. They're very weak, but this forward hold is a little bit too strong.
As we can
the doorway
see
now closed.
By this map geometry, there's only one exit, and unfortunately for the Kitchen Staff over here, they got 3 pyros each side just blasting flames into their spawn.
But they do end up busting out, and they're getting up the cliffside here, but 2 of them end up going down. Spawn getting a nice gas passer placement, and Bum Fuzzler there kind of helping him out. And the Bum Fuzzler does end up going down, and Blue team is actually trying to start making some space into the midpoint, breaking that forward hold through. They do end up busting out successfully through the 1 point, and Red team almost wiping here. Flame gonna lose all their players. The Bum Fuzzler spawns just in time to make it not a full wipe, but I mean, it might as well be.
Yeah.
He's now taking a little bit of damage inside that house. They know where he is. I mean, he's spotted. He's now gonna take this 1v5. It's got
trying to play around the pillar, but it just that doesn't work out just quite the way he wanted it to.
Enough. And we have Brabdo over here starting to make some space. The 5 seconds on the clock for Flame to just tick off. I mean, they don't even have to fight this anymore. They just sit here and they cap this, and they'll win this if they just leave somebody on the point. I mean, kitchen staff won't be able to make it to the point in time, which is very unfortunate. And that is the first round for Flame.
So as we can see, this map, if you get a forward hold in, it is very beneficial for your team. But of course, as we did see, you can break through, and that will end up causing the team who's holding, they'll lose that ground and instantly lose the point. So it's a very, very high risk, high reward strategy to just take them all the way to their spawn.
Yeah, definitely. Though I do feel like one guy being able to hold the door there might be a little bit of a bad map design, but hey, I don't make the maps, I just play them.
Yeah,
it does look like we have a fight over here by the pillars, and blue team is going to wipe completely over here. Flame kind of just showing up with everything out on the table. They showed their hands, and I mean, they had no fear at all.
And we did see a rake kill. Ooh, very nice.
I missed it. No!
It was around the pillar. It was. I think. I believe it was around by. It was a. I'm not sure. I can't remember the player now, but it was by Flame.
Well. Hey, maybe I'll see another one this time around. It does look like we have the kitchen staff himself walking through, but he does end up dying in-house here, and they're just gonna have to back up.
Meppy and Co. just melting Bumfuzzler alive in that pillar.
Yeah, but is Meppy going to be able to make anything out of this? I mean, they're very weak, low on HP, but they're on the point now, and they have no idea that he's there. And he actually ends up getting the gas on the point. This is going to be good for zoning, and they're not going to be able to walk in that specific area for a little while, but the rest of his team is just not there to support him.
Does trying to get those pot shots off with the man melter, but without those crits, the man melter just kind of
my 20 damage man melter shots, my beloved.
Of course.
Does look like they end up getting flanked here. Kitchen staff getting flanked by the Fire Nation. Fire coming out from all orifices. I mean, holy moly, dude. So much just happened right there. The entire blue team almost just basically wiped. I mean, what are you going to do here? If you are sorted, you're just going to get wiped out, and you're on a 10-second respawn wave away from the rest of your team, and so is the kitchen staff, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He's going to go down over here by pillars. Meppy not quick enough to try and save him, and Meppy also ends up going down, and it looks like Young Freakster the Body Snatcher is going to go down as well here, and Duds is the last one alive, ends up getting taken down, dies to Afterburn, I think, somehow.
It appears Flame is trying to go for their little oven strategy one more time.
One more Flame oven strat, but I don't think this is paying off too well for him. I mean, they're very weak, but I guess as I say that, they start killing people left and right, so.
If kitchen staff would be able to, they need to use these resupply cabinets, just trying to wear Flame down.
Yeah, I mean, all you can really do here is alternate between these resups. I mean, we have Young Freaks or the Body Snatcher outside of the spawn right now. They're all walking out. Meppy very weak now. He's getting that resup. And I mean, this bust out is working perfectly fine here. The oven strat, very strong. I feel a little too strong. I don't know if this should be I don't know if this is regulation. I don't know if this is allowed.
I'm no map maker, and I'm no cook in a kitchen, but it would appear that that oven may be burning the food a little too much.
Yeah, somebody call the health department. I mean, dude, this is brutal. It's disgusting and vile. Does look like we're gonna have a little bit of cap time brought onto the point by the kitchen staff, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. All Red has to do, all the Fire Nation has to do, is delay this cap for just long enough to where the point, or to where the timer says 0 here. And if Meppy goes down, that's the round, and that's the game for the Fire Nation. Flame takes that game 2-0.
All right, and it appears we have one more hydration. Cheers, everybody. Let's get the good sip in.
Oh, I think this is going to be my last sip out of this cup for a little bit. I got to go refill my water soon.
Nice and hydrated.
I love my Wawa. I love my Wawa. All right, let's check out these here logs.
Let's see
Oh my goodness.
just how these teams really compared. It was a very close match. I will give them that, but it just appears that Flame just took advantage of that oven strategy, and it just paid off for them in the long run.
Yeah, I feel like the oven strategy is a little too powerful. I feel like that probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Yeah. And
so powerful.
as we can see here, Spottin walking out with a 16-10-3 of 8.7 KD. Or kill
Yeah.
assist KD, I should say.
And looking at the total kills on the logs here, it's actually red with 55 kills total and blue with 28. This is just an unfortunate set of circumstances. I mean, when you get ovened like that, there's not a whole lot you can do.
And as we can see, like the damage numbers, they speak for themselves. It's just there's too much going on, and with the one door, one door out of spawn, it's just not much room for outplay. You keep going through those resubs and just trying to push your way out.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like it's a little bit of a map issue, but
who
hey,
are we to judge? We're just
not
here to
my
talk
place
about
to
it.
complain about it. So
we're here to talk about it, not design it.
I feel like one spawn exit, maybe not the greatest idea ever, but hey, man, the map's been played, and there's nothing we can really do about it either way. But yeah, I mean, that oven strategy, you can see just how powerful it is there. I mean, this is the first time we've seen a log with 2 people that have over 500 DPM on the side of Flame. So it really just goes to show just how powerful the oven strategy is. I mean, that's rough.
It's rough, and if I'm not sure how exactly it'll work, but if any teams happen to see what's going on here, I feel like they'd probably want to ban Sandstone, and
Yeah.
just in case, good map, but if you get into a bad situation, it's very difficult to push out of it.
Yeah, I feel like this map is very much if you just win that first little bit, you're kind of screwed unless you're on that team that's winning for the rest of the map there.
It's like the classic thing. If you're winning, you're having fun. If you're losing, it sucks. Everything's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I do think the voices in our heads are telling us that the next match here, I believe, is Dino versus Pog. I'm not sure when that's going to start, but it will sometime soon. I promise you guys will get to see even more Pyro on Pyro action. Maybe some more oven strat if these guys decide to play Sandstone. Oh, never mind. It actually looks like they might be playing Canopy, I believe.
It appears we will be.
In my head
It appears
me?
we will be going back to Canopy, and if Pog has shown us anything with their match against Crits Crew, that they know this map very well with their coordination and being able to just hold these routes and hold these flanks down. So if they have another showing exactly like they did with Crits Crew, Pog may have this map down in their favor, but you never know. We could have Dino come out here swinging, or should I say, come out here burning, and they just get roasted.
Yeah, I mean, Canopy seems like a very strong pick for these guys. I mean,
it's like a very middle ground map. It's got a lot of room for options, and there's many different ways you could play these mid fights out.
Yeah, definitely, and it's also, it's all directly centered around the point. There's no like weird cheeky flanks for you to take that'll get you around the point. If you take the flank, you end up on the point one way or another. At some point, you're gonna show up to that cap point, and you're gonna have to fight, whether you like it or not. And I think that's something that a lot of maps miss.
Exactly.
In the essence of Koth.
I mean,
I think flank routes are important, but
of course,
I feel like some flank maps go a little bit too, or some Koth maps rather, go a little bit too crazy with the flanks and just make it so that flanking is really your only option. But I think in a format like this with these weapons and everything like that, I think this is perfect. I think this is a perfect kind of map to have in a pool.
Of course, like it all depends on just where you want to be. Do you want to be playing over on the bridge and get that high ground advantage over the enemy team, or do you want to take the rocks? You want to take the rocks over there through main, or do you want to take the flank going through house to out the left side over there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on that on this map that, you know, even though it all ends up on the midpoint, there's still so much for teams to do that it doesn't really matter just like how little pathing there is to go around. And especially for a format like this, you don't really need a flank. It's actually kind of detrimental to your team if you flank because of how many or how powerful the Dragon's Fury is when you focus it onto more than one person at all at any point in this. So, you know, your entire team trying to push in to fight here, you're alone and you're not really fighting with them is kinda bad. Especially, you know, 6v6, you can go down and you can fight that 5v6 comfortably still, but when it's 5v5 and you're fighting a 4v5, that's a whole different story.
Of course, with sixes, you're going to be playing off of add and disads and everything. Of course, you know, dropping a medic and pushing off of that is very different from one pyro going down and pushing off of that. It's just a very different mindset you have to go pushing into this.
Yeah, that too. I mean, the mindsets are going to be very awkward for some people, I think. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of the people here have either played Highlander or sixes or some other form of competitive in one way or another, and they're so used to their standard way of thinking where it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna play forward, we're gonna build, we're gonna get this ad, and we're gonna push, or we're gonna play back and we're gonna play disad or something. And this is reminiscent of this event structure is reminiscent of more like a pub where you don't really have to worry about all that kind of stuff. You kind of just play, but there is still that team element to it. So it's definitely an odd way to play.
Of course, of course. And the voices have told us in our head that this match will be interesting, as both teams will be playing down a player, so it will no longer be 5v5, and we will be seeing 4v4 Pyro.
That was not expected.
It's a little curveball.
Yeah, a little curveball, you think? Yeah, I think that completely changes the dynamic of how this is going to work. I mean, you can't really have that strategy of you maybe have a player try and get behind them while the rest of your team distracts them anymore. You kind of have to have everybody going forward, especially with these Dragon's Furies. I mean, the weapon is too powerful if you play as a team to really give up that team play there. So I'm thinking we're going to see a lot more hand-to-hand combat going on, a lot more cyberbullying coming from these Pyros onto one another. But, hey man, that's just what this event's about. It's Pyros cyberbullying other Pyros. So,
well, of course. And it appears we do have a posture check and a hydration in chat. So let's go ahead.
I don't have any more water.
Better go get some. You got to honor them somehow.
That's true. I do got to do it. Hey, standing up to get my water will also be my posture check. So it's a 2-in-1.
Exactly.
I'll be back. I promise.
Of course.
Don't do anything stupid now.
Cheers, everybody. Nothing like a good swig of the good old H2O. But as we said, this will be 4v4, and as we were playing off of talking about sixes, ads, and disads, you know, one pyro going in, it's just a very risk versus reward. If that one pyro versus, say, two others can land his shots, he'll be blasting the Dragon's Fury like bam, bam, bam. But if he misses just one of those and the other pyros hit him, then it's just over, because the Dragon's Fury, very punishing weapon if you don't know how to aim with it. Takes a different approach, as we were saying. You know, you have to go into it thinking more projectile based than a standard flamethrower, going in with just the particles, throwing them all over the place, hoping you hit someone. But what I am still hoping to see, you know, is more of that team coordination with the throwing the gases in, being able to lock down areas, and of course, you know, if someone's on fire, getting that man melter just to get that little bit of extra damage in. Because as we can see, damage, you know, it's always worthwhile, but as we saw with Chris Crew, damage sometimes doesn't equate to kills. You always got to just go in for those commits. If you can get that kill, you'll benefit your team just so greatly. We do want to shout out a couple people. Shout out to our producer. His name is Dr. Underscore. Part of Fireside Cast, which we are partners with for this. Partnered with this game mode. Make sure to follow us. Join our Discord server. Follow us on Twitter. If you got that lovely Twitch Prime, not a little Twitch Prime never hurt anybody, of course. And if you ever want to give us a one-time donation, we are all volunteers. We work off of as much as we can get. And if you want to help support us in any way, we have our Ko-Fi. You can do a one-time donation, buy us a coffee, as they say. And of course, give me 1 second to get the names. Of course, shout out to Mikush for the event plugins, and Mind Enemy for the servers that we are playing on this lovely day. But we are getting all our players in, getting everyone situated. As we said, 4v4. Be very interesting to see just how that's going to play out. Oops, give me 1 second. Got a droplet of water on my glasses.
I'm back, guys. I'm back with my water. I got everything ready. I did my little...
Make sure to get that hydration back.
Oh, yeah, I got to take a sip. I forgot to take my sip. How could I? Jeez Louise. Good old water. Yum, yum, yum.
Couldn't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong with water. That said, this is definitely going to be an interesting match. I mean, 4v4 is... 4v4 in this format is going to be a little bit awkward to look at, but... I'm sure it'll work out probably.
Of course, right? Even as simple as just one player being gone from both teams, it'll just change your dynamic. Just like that, gone. Your dynamic is completely shifted.
Yeah, your dynamic is just going to be thrown out the window there. I mean, especially because you're already down that player. All of your strategies revolve around playing with 5. It's not going to be easy to try and adapt on the spot to 4 players having to figure out what kind of strategy works out there. But I think that's kind of the beauty of this event, where people don't really know what they're doing and they just kind of throw stuff at the wall and hope it sticks.
Of course. I was saying, while you were getting your swig of water, as I was saying, the Dragon's Fury is just a very punishing weapon. If you just don't get that perfect shot hit off, you'll just lose all your momentum and get melted right then and there.
Yeah. I often say it's like the only pyro weapon I respect, because it actually rewards people for hitting shots, which is something that no other pyro weapon really does besides maybe the flare. I mean, you have the scorch shot. It's an area of effect. It does full afterburn damage. I mean, it does a lot of stuff that you would associate with pyro. You've got the flamethrowers. You can just hold left click, throw your mouse around, and those flame particles are going to linger for longer than they're actually on your screen. So you get that extra little bit of damage. With the Dragon's Fury over here, it's one single projectile. The moment it's off your screen, it's gone. I mean, if it hits someone, it's gone, and it rewards you for hitting it, and it punishes you for missing, like I feel like a lot of weapons should, and a lot of weapons do punish you for missing. So, it's kind of one of the only pyro weapons I respect. But I know some people kind of feel differently.
It does appear that we will be going back to 5v5. I guess their players have figured out their little connection issues and made it in.
What? No 4v4?
Unfortunate.
What the freak, man? This is not it, dude. I wanted to see some 4v4 pyro action. Unlucky. Maybe I'll go bribe the other team really quick. Tell them to play 4v4. But it does look like we're going live. This match is going to start. Pog versus Dino. Who do you think is going to take home the dub today?
Now, I'm not going to curse anyone with the caster's curse, but we have seen some excellent showings from Pog, and we have seen... Have we seen excellent showings from Dino? I'm unsure, actually.
I don't think we've watched Dino today, but that said, it does look like we're going to have a bum rush come in from Shoal here, going into the house and getting right behind them on the side of blue. and Dino's kind of just getting separated here. They're already down a player, and one of their players is on 18 HP. Palm Tree goes dead. Useful is now very weak, and so is Oxtrus. Oxtrus actually manages to get a health pack, but Gale goes down, and Oxtrus is the last one alive. And this is going to be a horrid start for Dino here. I mean, just wiping on mid almost instantaneously. Not a whole lot they can do in that situation besides, I mean, try and play their lives and make sure they're ready for the refight.
Of course, we can see Dino going up on the left here, but Red's just Flame is, or, sorry, I'm thinking of last match, sorry. Pog is just holding that forward hold. Excellent.
Holy Onyx getting the 3K there and helping the rest of his team clear house. I mean, holy moly. We just watched their team Dino wipe once again, and one of them actually on a delayed spawn wave here. So he's going to be pushing with the rest of his team a little bit late.
We have Pog here holding, ooh, Pog holding out with the sneak attack on them. We did see that once before with Crit's crew getting sneak attacked.
Yeah, this seems a little bit rough for Dino here. I would like to see them all just push out of one area, so that way they're forcing one of those people that are all the way back on another spot to turn around and lose their attention on that one tiny little area and force them to just divert their attention. Maybe they can rotate through there or something, but it does look like we're going to have Oxtrus and Gale come through the right side here, come through the flank, but Hog is still holding them back in their spawn, and these three are now out onto the point. Little Man Melter pot shot going out, but not really hitting anybody. Looks like Oxtrus is going to go down. The two Pyros behind Gale and Palm Tree just wreaking havoc upon them. I mean, oof, this is rough. This is a minute and 30 off of the global timer for Red Team here. Pog only has to hold for another minute and 20, and they'll take this round home. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Trying to do a bait, trying to get him thinking like, oh, look at me, I'm one Pyro, and trying to lead him into his whole team.
Very sound strat, I would say. It does look like Frylock is going to go down here, and they have two people inside of the spawn. Blue team is now taking this opportunity. Dino, I should say, is taking this opportunity to walk in, but it doesn't look like Nick knows there's somebody behind him, and he ends up getting taken down. This guy's going in with the Extinguisher, just beating people's skulls in. Oh my god, it's brutal. It's a massacre on the middle point here. 45 seconds on the clock for Pog to hold and take this round home. Dino probably going to try and push out of left side here. I would like to see maybe a push come out through main. It doesn't look like they have that many people sitting on top of it.
They just needed to try and get one of these Pog players down, but
yeah, I mean,
not looking this way so far. We have
Dino's
Sholey coming in all the way to their spawn.
Oh, Oxtrus is on the point here, baiting the cap, getting them to turn around. Palm Tree and Useful now getting in behind as well, and the rest of the Dino team is now flooding in. There's a Pyro behind the point, though. They don't know that Paxton is back there, and they don't know that Frylock is back there either, but it doesn't matter because Pog is dying out one by one. Slowly but surely, they are dropping like flies, but the spawners are now back, and down goes Useful, and Palm Tree's the last one up. They can't hold this point all on their own, and they just have to give it up, but he does end up trying to play off the bridge. Try to get that high ground advantage, but he ends up getting countered by another Pyro. He gets air blasted off. Another excellent use of air blast there, and I think if they cap this point here, it's just going to be the end of the round. I mean, there's nothing that poor Nick can do. Gale Gaming has to come in 1v5. This is a round for Pog, and I think here Dino just has to pull back, you know, retreat, and think of a new strategy, because what they're trying here is seemingly not working.
I think what they should really think about is just Pog plays very aggressively, as has been shown with the Crits crew battle and now the Dino battle, and we can see that if they play really aggressive, you know, they can try and get them caught out, being, you know, too cocky, trying to get all the way into their spawn and try and catch out Pog.
Yeah, I think if Dino adapted a more elastic defense kind of strategy, they would be a lot more successful, but they're kind of static with it. But that said, it does look like we got a 1v2 going on the point right now. Gale Gaming gonna end up going down to the 4 Pyros right on top of him. Not a whole lot he can do there besides fight for his life. And Palm Tree gonna get taken out by Shul coming out from the side, taking him down. Little flank play right there, and we're back at the same position we were in beforehand. I mean, Dino's got 2 players too far forward, not ready to push out with the rest of the team, and they're spotted. Their plan is telegraphed at this rate. I mean, there's not a whole lot they can do here.
Jolie getting caught out, and he goes down.
Gale also getting taken out, though, making it an even player numbers. Frylock getting some disgusting damage in from behind, and the rest of the Pog team coming in to help him out here. But that leaves 2 Pyros on middle, and they're going to end up getting taken down by Holy Onyx, getting those nice 2 crucial picks, sending them onto a later respawn wave.
So as we saw, that I think it was Sholey getting caught out by being too aggressive, and if Dino can just play off of that more, they'd be able to very much secure these.
Oh my god!
Going for the second sneak attack, and it's working in Pog's favor, unfortunately, for Dino.
Yeah, I mean, we watched that happen. There was just a whole lot of fire thrown through that doorway right there, and they all ended up dying, so not a whole lot they could do at that point. And Dino here is, again, we're seeing with a lot of these teams today that they like to send people in early instead of waiting for their full team to spawn up. So maybe that's something they need to change to try and take home this W here, maybe get a round on the board at the very least, wait for their players. But it does look like we're going to be doing a 3v3 here, but only Useful is out, ready to fight. He ends up taking down a player, though, but Shul over here getting that nice crucial pick right there, going to make that forward hold a little bit more worthwhile. And Gale getting a nice pick here, going to be taking down Shul. And this other Pyro right here, Paxson, also going to get another pick, but is he going to get taken down as well? Oxtrus is going to come in and take him down, and now it's a 4v2, actually. They're going to be coming in with a player late, but Palm Tree's really the only one here. He's going to get taken down, or he's going to be forced to back up, and Nick not really there for the rest of his team, kind of eating a bunch of damage now. Ends up getting taken down. Frylock is just walking in circles, literally, around these Pyros, and those look like Palm Tree is going to get taken down as well. Red team going to be taking this point back into their name. They claim this point in the name of Pog, and that is hardly even 12 seconds taken off of the clock for Dino here. They've really got to change up their strategies super quick here and try and make something work. They've got to throw a Hail Mary at this point.
Palm Tree using his previous knowledge to know that they're going to try and go for another sneak attack.
Clearing these corners is definitely going to help out their team here, but it doesn't look like they're ready for the player behind, and they're all going to end up wiping. Oxtrus is the only one, and he's out by mid. Watching his Pob, he does not look ready to take on any fight right now. He's getting 3v1'd. He ends up going down, tries to walk out of their spawn, and he just gets deleted. I mean, there's not a whole lot he can really do at that point. Shul,
Palm Tree can try and get onto this point. He may be able to secure just a
Palm
one
Tree
more
getting
cap
a little
for
bit of
team.
cap time, but he ends up going down, and it's not enough cap time. It's not going to be enough to help Dino get that point. And that's a 0-2 in favor of Pog, which means Pog takes that match home. That's 2 dubs for Pog today, I believe.
And as we saw, I mean, what we can understand from this is just trying to change up your strategy on the fly. You have to at this point, when you're just getting these forward holds that are just holding two, like the defending team just cannot break through. You really need to try and work a new strategy in.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when with a mode that's as, like, you know, basic as, well, I shouldn't say basic because that sounds mean, but as straightforward as 5v5 Pyros only with, you know, a lot of weapon bans and restrictions. With a mode so confined as this, it's very important that you be open to switching your strategies around and not just running the same thing over and over, because that's what we saw Dino doing. They weren't able to break out, and they would just get destroyed by the forward hold.
And before we talk about the match logs, we have been redeemed. We have a new hydration and posture check redeemed, so get your lovely cup ready.
Just took my little sippy of my Wawa right there. Took a little drink my order. Let me pull up them logs right there. Let me pull that John up. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
It has been a clean sweep on Pog's end. Not one Dino member, unfortunately, being able to break double-digit kills.
Oh, and it does look like on the total kills thing, we've got 67 kills for Pog and only 19 for Dino. Very rough showing for Dino here. I mean, not being able to break out of that forward hold is super unfortunate. But again,
and as we can see with damage, I was talking about this with we were talking about this with Crit's crew, where Blue or Dino is able to get some damage in 8,000 with 19 kills, but just not being able to secure enough kills to really back up that damage.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of times that players from Dino would damage players on Pog a whole lot, but they would just beef that last shot, or they would, you know, take too long. They would hesitate just a little bit too much, and it would end up costing them that kill, and it would cost them their lives at the same time, and they wouldn't be able to be effective at all there. So it's very unfortunate, but there's not a whole lot they can do there. I mean, we're just going to be stuck here waiting for this next match at this rate. I mean,
no, I don't. Unfortunately,
is that it for today?
This is day 1, so day 2 tomorrow we will be seeing the final 3 matches, which I believe will be bronze match, show match, and grand in that order, or maybe show match first, one of the two. But we will be seeing those 3 matches. But as we can see from a beautiful fights today, we've been able to see that just what strategies work, what didn't, and where the teams are going to go when they have now a whole day to prep and get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, these last few teams that are, you know, in it to win it, they're going to have to sit there and try and figure out what strategies are going to work best for them. They're going to have to sit there and think to themselves, what ways can we counter some of these strats that we've watched these guys do, because now they have these VODs. They have these examples of how they play, so they can use this against them if they really wanted to. They could analyze the gameplay if they were really that determined to win. So you could definitely take a gander at these strategies and develop super strong counters to them and figure out how to take home the W for certain.
Of course. But as we unfortunately bring day 1 to a close, we do want to go back and shout out a bunch of people. Shout out to Fireside Cast, of course. You know, wonderful people over there helping us and partnering with us for this event. Shout out to Mikush again for the event plugin and being able to making that, and Mindsetemy for hosting these servers that we're able to play on. Once again, shout out to our producer. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name. Underscore, of course. Shout out to Underscore, of course. And shout out to our casters. We have over here Zach and Quantum Sponge, me. And make sure to follow us on our Twitter, join our Discord if you ever want to participate in any future events that may happen. If you got any Twitch Prime, you know, a little sub never hurt anyone. And I think with that, we will be bringing day 1 to a close.
It's been a very fun day 1. I'm excited for day 2.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what strategies will be cooked up by our competitors, and just seeing if anything will change out or anything will go against what we were seeing today. You know, with new strategies, these forward holds, stopping these aggressive holds, mainly is what I've been seeing.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see some teams develop strategies to counter these forward holds, especially that one on the oven strat.
Of course, yeah. You just gotta play around those resubs or the resups, and just try and whittle down the enemy's health who's holding on their door.
True. That said, we're going to have to bring this one to a close. Remember to use your Twitch Prime subs, support the channel, support the team. Do whatever you can if you are able. The Ko-fi exists. The Ko-fi, however you say it. Buy them a coffee. Do whatever. Support Fireside as well. Support your casters, support your producers. And yeah, that's it from me.
Yep, I don't have anything else to say. I think I'm very excited. I'm just very excited for tomorrow.
I am as well. It's going to be fun to cast tomorrow as well.
But with that, I believe we are bringing day 1 of Torchlight Tango Fortress Faceoffs 10th Fortress Faceoffs 10th event, Torchlight Tango, we will be bringing day 1 to a close.